I'd like to welcome the one and only Yang Berhormat Dato Saifuddin Abdullah, Minister of Communications and Multimedia. Dato, how have you been, my friend? Say hi.
Not playing basketball for some time, but I'm happy that Lakers won. So all right.
Boleh dah, the land of lakes, the land of opportunity. So, Dato, today was just to let you know, we had a lot of opportunity conversations today. And thank you so much for your support. And without your support, this event, couldn't have been pieced together. So thank you so much for that. I just want to let you know what we learned today. Boleh tak, Dato? Hashtag learning.
Boleh.
Boleh. So, I mean, really great, really good number of attendees here today. Really powerful, very energetic. Even though it was on Zoom, we didn't feel their physical presence, but we felt their digital presence. A lot of good questions being asked. And this morning we gathered insights by industry leaders locally and regionally on global trends of creative economy and best practices. And then we moved into Dato Sri Dr. Muhammad Uziz's statistics, which was very enlightening. And today is World Statistics Day in Malaysia and World Statistics Day around the world. So that's, go stats, and stats always, like you always tell me, Dato, stats also help us, not just help them break a basketball game, but tell us how our business is doing and which improvements need to be done. So that's really good, an objective approach. And then we had a very good guest all the way dari Indonesia. We had Pak Chandra on how Indonesia nurtures their ecosystem and grows their ecosystem. And it came down to one simple word, Dato, collaboration. He just said collaboration. So which goes to show you, which is something that you always tell me, it's a people element, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and then this is followed, and it was followed by a vibrant discourse by the panels on shared prosperity, learn on corporate tax. That's right, get good tax break. The government is always helping. And then by Ui Biling, we called her B, so B to B, Ben to Ben, business to business, and then B to C, B to consumer. And then finally we had Hamdan Majid speaking about the corporate partnerships of revitalizing cities. And he very much stressed the point that if an environment is clean, is safe, and has a good perception, good PR, then there will be investment. So that's very much in the creative line and very much what everybody was thinking today, how to move something forward. So thank you, Dato. We learned how to move something forward, and inshallah, we're learning how to move the ecosystem forward.
Inshallah.
So Dato, I would like to invite you to say some magical words of inspiration as always.
Well, thank you, Ben, Najib and the gang, brothers and sisters. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate Najib, My Creative Venture, Cendana and Rio for organizing the Creative Economy 2021 Forum focused on arts and culture, which is actually a follow-up conversation from the earlier one, which was organized in October, that was on the creative arts and cultural industries reimagined. We are very happy that we are meeting, and I must apologize that I can't be present virtually on so many of the interesting discussion that has taken place and will be taking place. Let me first take a brief look at the challenging scenario that we are in now as the result of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think the creative industry has been one of the most affected sectors, and but we have taken some swift measures. For example, the Penjana stimulus package presented to the public by our Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin in July included an allocation of RM 225 million in overall value for the arts, culture, and entertainment and event industries. My Creative, which also includes Cendana, was given the mandate to implement and distribute these funds via a variety of schemes and initiatives, such as live event grants, digital marketing grants, matching investment scheme, fast track, low interest, soft loans, and the digital velocity program, comprising digital marketing and promotion training, connectivity assistance, and advisory services. In the meantime, the processing of applications and distribution of funds are already well underway. About 1,748 applications worth RM 73.4 million for various measures are currently being reviewed by MyCreative. Meanwhile, Cendana has already approved 234 applications worth about RM 3.5 million. Furthermore, a further 114 applications amounting to RM 9.6 million have already been approved for distribution to successful applicants for the fast track loans, digital marketing grant, and velocity training under the Penjana plan for the creative industry. Now, just last week, the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture and myself co-chaired a newly established platform called the National Creative Industry Development Council. Now, this is in a way using the template that has been successfully executed in, among others, South Korea, where we put all governmental agencies and we plan to include industry players and the main corporate players onto a national platform that works somewhat like the EAC for economy. So this is the EAC for the creative industry. We bring in all the 10 to 11 or maybe 12 ministries, which are directly or indirectly involved in the creative industry. And we look at the creative industry from the bigger picture or the big picture, and we are using the UN, the UNCTAD definition or components of creative industry, where we have the 4 major components: heritage, arts, media, and functional creations. Each of the 4 components are divided into sub-components. So you will have, for example, under heritage, you have traditional cultural expressions and cultural sites. Under arts, you have visual arts and performing arts. Under media, you have publishing and printed media to audio visuals and the new media, which is very, very exciting. We are talking about digital content, software, video games, animations, comic, and so on. And you have the functional creations, which is divided into design and creative services. We are also seriously looking at the funding. I was having a video conferencing with the Minister of Finance a few days ago, and we were looking at, for example, why is it that quite a bit sum from the 11 Malaysia plan was not spent. And I told the Minister of Finance, because we didn't actually plan how to spend the money. So I said, please maintain the amount, about 500 million, not well spent or underspent under the 11 Malaysia plan, which ends in December this year. That is very, very regretful. But I said, please keep the money, the same amount for the 12 Malaysia plan, which should start in January. And I say, we know how to spend the money, provided we do it well. For example, you have to come up with a concrete program, say in film. I've told Finas to divide the way you spend the money. And I say, do 4 things. The 2 things are whatever that you are doing now. I don't want to go into the detail, but add 2 more categories. One is film kenegaraan. I don't know how to translate that into English, but we should be producing some epic movies or films or dramas that in normal circumstances, production houses may not want to do it because it may not sell. Or if you bring it to the cinema, people may not really want to see it. These are serious drama, thinking drama or film or movies. But it is important because they represent the actual identity of Malaysia. For lack of a better example, I like to use Umar Mukhtar as an example, which was produced by the Libyans in the 80s or late 70s. epic may not sell, but epic and important. And the other new category is Road to Oscar. If you have to spend money, you spend money, but you have to do a proper way, plan, good script, and so on. And likewise, we have to have in music, and already we are now drafting the first draft of the Akta Peribadanan Music. So there should be road to Grammy. I have discussed with the religious minister, and we both agree that we should properly celebrate our talents in Nasheed. So we should have a proper Anugerah Nasheed, a national level Nasheed Award and international level Nasheed Award. In fact, I'm told that Malaysia is considered the home of contemporary Nasheed. Now that is a strong selling point, and we can do a lot of things around Nasheed alone. And remember, there are 9 subcomponents of the creative industry. Surely, if we put our, collaborate and work, no longer working in silos, but bringing everybody together, surely we can do a lot of things. Now, I have actually gone to the third and final part of my presentation, which is programs and issues. As I said, you really have to line up some important programs as catalysts for development, because at the end of the day, we must have an ecosystem that would enable all of our local talents to, and this includes the young and the women, to unleash their true and full potentials. And we have to look at other issues like accreditation. I mentioned about the new Act on Music. We are now amending the FINAS Act. We also have to look at the need to establish some kind of legal assistance bureau or something to that effect to assist some of our talents when it comes to their IP issues and so on and so forth. So we have to look at the big picture, bring everybody to the table and meet regularly. It doesn't have to be chaired by the minister, but the platform must be actively involved in the whole process together and in consultation with the industry players. Look at the funding. We may need to repurpose, we may need to reallocate, but I can see that my creative would play a bigger role because there are quite a number of sub-components or sub-components of the industry which is neither here nor there in terms of agencies, and no one is actually providing facilitation to the talents, and we have to look at it and look at the programs. What are the 5-year program? What are the 10-year program? We don't really have to we need to discuss, but the ideas are already there. DASA Industri Kreatif Negara has been there for more than 10 years. It is now about implementation. So Ben, those are my, I hope it makes sense to deal into this kind of issues for the purpose of our discussion today. And let me again congratulate you guys, My Creative and Cendana, for organizing and hosting this forum. I also want to thank all the speakers, the panelists, the participants for your deliberations, thoughts, and ideas. And I look forward to hearing the report of this forum. And we just have to get things done in the best possible way, and we get, hopefully we get the best of the results that we can hope for. Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Dato. Thanks so much for that. I mean, really, really great to see that, you're very, you and your team, very respectful to everybody who's put in a lot of hard work and sacrifice. So you highlighted that. So thank you ever so much for that. Like you always tell me, that the human factor. So we work hard, but it's always the human factor, isn't it? So now, everyone, I'd now like to invite Ms. Izan Satrina, the founding CEO of Cendana, joined by Encik Muhammad Najib Razak, Chairman of My Creative Ventures, to present the list of beneficiaries under Penjana funding programs. So over to you, Izan, and also Encik Muhammad Najib.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Dato. Thanks for being with us today. Glad to finally have you on board. It's a very exciting day full of conversations and comments from the art sector as well as the corporates. So perhaps let me give you just an overview of what happened this morning. But like you said, I hope we can follow up with a conversation with you to just share what has been presented by Dato Sri Dr. Uzair, the Chief Statistician of Malaysia. He also shared that about 1 million Malaysians are employed in the creative industries, including arts and culture, and nearly 2% forms the GDP contribution to the country. Pak Chandra from Indonesia also talked about Indonesia's journey in terms of building Indonesia as a global creative economy player by 2030. And we had amazing speakers from our corporate scene and the art scene sharing their perspectives on how to move these conversations forward. So I think we are all on the same page that the public and the private sector, we must work together to galvanize and help the scene to grow. We also had Hamdan Majid, who spoke about revitalizing cities and making them cultural districts. And Red Hong Yi, for the benefit of our participants today, do not worry. She will come back online after this and will continue her conversation and her sharing as well. We also had amazing artists, some of our Cendana beneficiaries, YB, who also shared their performances. Don't worry, it's not within context of a physical space, but it was all pre-recorded, so we are all safe at home. I'd like to share with you YB under the My Creative Ventures group for loans. We have received more than 1,700 applications, and they are all applying. The amount is up to 73 million. But most of the applications, and I apologize, the circle here is not updated. The craft sector alone, 900 application. That's how big and intense the scene needs in terms of support. And then we have performing arts, visual arts, independent music. Pardon, you have seen my desktop. And also other sectors like arts house, film, digital live events, and literature. So to share with you today, the ones that have been approved under the Penjana Plan for the creative industries funding programs, who have signed their agreements accordingly, so we can share also their names. In general, we practice sharing the names of our beneficiaries and the amounts they receive. It's always available on the Cendana website and the group as well. For the Create Now funding program, Cycle 1 beneficiaries, we have participants like Muhammad Khairul Rizwan, Gang Sapura, and Space Records, who respectively received grants from 1,500 to 3,500 for doing some digital output sharing online. So during COVID-19, tidak bermakna kita semua di rumah tidak buat apa-apa, tapi kita masih boleh juga mengilhamkan, membuat kerja yang dapat dikongsikan dengan halayak ramai juga. We also have Hana Nadira, Tengku Idil from AIA Improv and 222 Productions as well, receiving roughly the same amount, 1,500 to 3,500 ringgit. Kwa Chiachi, Ilya Shahira, Mimi Zairul, who also received the same amount of funding for their works. Tio Bunting, Huda, and Kam Seng. I apologize, I need to close this so I can share the screen properly. Kam Seng Yu, who also received an amount of 1,500 to 3,500, including Hamidun, Sharifah Alisha, Muhammad Fadli, Lim Shanshan, Nor Maishara, Melodia, Yo Pei An, who opened our forum today with a performance with Aman, Muhammad Hazrel, Khairul Hazwan, Flux 28, My Music Community led by Jennifer Thompson, Vivo Experimental Orchestra, 2105 Productions, Liver and Lung Productions, Pink Hibiscus Resources, Georgian Calixtus. I apologize if I'm not mentioning the names correctly, but I hope I am. Temasha Rangkaian, Sendikit Jongkong Emas, one Muhammad Shafiq, then one Rosli. For the cycle 2, and mind you, this program has 8 cycles as a way to provide grants quickly to the artists, Nurul Aizam, Sang Rawi, Fahizul Azri, ASK Dance Company, which Joseph Gonzalez was speaking on a panel recently, ONZ Production and Entertainment, Dua Space Dance Theatre, Merdekarya, Yi Suki, KL Shakespeare Players, Mordo Blasters, Muka Space, Brandon Lim, Tan Ji Ling, Normiha Suraya, Seni Pentas Folk Studio, Angelina Bong, Lost Spaces, Asterisk Anak Seni Production, MFMF, Trophy Knives, Alien Lipstick Fire, Rondo Production, Lee Wu Shu Arts Theatre, Ruang Konksi, Philharmonic Winds of Malaysia, Packstret Dance Theatre. For the Cycle 3 Create Now Funding Program beneficiaries, which also includes 1,500 ringgit to 3,500 ringgit for those who have signed the agreements to date, include Pat Blast Studio, the Tuyang Initiative, Lo Ngai Yuen for Kaki Seni, Blink Media, G13, Chin Kwan Fuen, Wong Keng Jun, Lee Jia Si, Joshua Teo. For the Independent Music Funding Program, we've received many applications, and we have to date executed agreements with Alina Morang and Ta Che Siang. Please join me.
Alina Morang is a Sarawakian.
Yes, correct. So we do fund all our artists nationwide. They predominantly come from Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, including Penang, Johor, Perak, Sarawak, dan Sabah juga. And when it comes to craft, Sarawak, Sabah, Kelantan, dan Terengganu has been very high in applications, YB.
Very good.
So please join me in congratulating all of our beneficiaries, and there will be more to come, YB, and to the wider audience as well, and Chair. Back to you, YB and Ben.
I've appeared once again. That's my superpower today at Creative Economy 2021 Forum, reappearing and appearing. If only it was that simple. Thank you so much, Izan, for that very, well, let's call it visibility. Visibility to those wonderful people who put in a lot of hard work. Dato mentioned them earlier. And, thank you, Encik Muhammad Najib Razak, for also really spearheading this initiative, because without the both of you, without the support of Dato, without everybody pulling together, it's really difficult. I mean, Dato and I always speak about sports coming together. I think the creative industry is a really good big brother or big sister in terms of championing, trying to work together as an ecosystem to move the industry collectively. So I know we cannot clap. Usually as an MC, you can get the whole crowd to clap, all three of you, but we will all give you a virtual clap. I asked everybody to give a virtual thumbs up this morning. We can hear, there's some noise. Oh my God, I hear noise. It's Creative Economy 2021 Forum. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
And can I also quickly mention, since YB is here, that we've had more than 600 registrations online for the Zoom webinar. So this conversation is very important. So it's really important.
That deserves another clap. Applause. See, this is better than the Jimmy Fallon show. I don't have to press the applause button. Okay, so thank you, YB Dato. Thank you, Izan, and thank you, Encik Muhammad Najib. You're all amazing people for pulling this together. And inshallah, we will learn, because I'm part of this industry as well. We will all learn and move forward together as one.